Hello everybody and welcome back to the European Masters. Now, while this group has now technically been decided, Big have taken first and Mkers have taken second, it's a bit of pride we're now playing for as we're moving in to our fifth game of the day, Mkers versus Anorthosis. And if there's ever a time where we're going to see the Garen jungle, I hope it's now. I really hope we get to see Dominant on that one.
Yeah, if he doesn't lock that in, I'm going to be so disappointed. So disappointed. I mean, it doesn't matter if you win or lose this game. The results are being decided as you mentioned, the seeding for this group. And also this, unfortunately, not going to make it out. You have to lock in Garen at this point. Come on. I mean, we've been hyping it up and talking about it the whole time they've been in here. His Garen jungle is legit good. He plays it and he wins. Please show it to us. Please.
I mean, like, you might as well, man. Just, it's like the games have been, you know, so we've had, I mean, our last game was amazing. Mkers, honestly, we're kind of set to take that game. And, you know, a couple of mistakes did cost them ultimately. And, you know, it'll be one of those things you do kick yourself about a little bit. But at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. You're still making it out of the group stages. Mkers have got to be very happy with that. The PG Nationals haven't done, you know, particularly well at the European Masters historically. So to make it out of groups in a group with, you know, Kick, you had a group of Big. This was a pretty stacked group you're going into. At least, you know, there were two teams who everybody clearly thought were going to make it out, and you know, expectations have been shattered. But for now, the Xin Zhao and the Fiora have been banned away by Mkers. Seraphine getting banned out by Anorthosis, and the scary thing here is Mkers are target banning. And if the Garen gets banned here, I'm actually gonna be really sad. I'm gonna be really salty.
Oh, come on, who does that? Why would you? Nah, don't ban the Garen. Like, so Fiora is WouLou's most played champion. It gets banned all the time versus Mkers domestically. Versus Anorthosis domestically. So no surprise to see that one being away. We've seen Dominant play the Xin Zhao twice, at least twice, maybe more. But the first time he played it was really, really impressive. It's going to be the Jinx, so the Garen is left open.
Come on.
We'll see. That's all this Champ Select is about right now. It's like, just about whether they lock in Garen jungle.
It's Garen waiting queue. That's all we are right now.
Please.
All right, well, Hecarim is open, so Taxa could take that if he would like. I became for the Hecarim to go over to Mkers. Don't trade it for the Udyr. I know that's technically the smart decision. I know that's what most people would say is the optimal pick here, or something like a Lilia. But come on, Garen's open. It's your last game.
I really hope they leave Garen to the very last pick of this draft, and it doesn't get banned out in the second ban phase, because I want to see it, and I want it to be this big build up. I just slam it down last pick.
We're gonna have nothing to talk about if they die.
Yes, yes, okay.
So excited. All right, we can just close Champ Select. We'll tell you what's going on later. That's all we wanted to see.
Yes. Oh, I was so disproportionately. I've never been so happy to see a Garen jungle in my life. I love it. See, honestly, I'm just most looking forward to this because I want to copy it to bring it into solo queue. Garen's absolutely the style champion. Like, no brain, no hands, no problem. And I think that actually would suit me quite nicely. So.
Well, they are going to pick up the Kai'Sa as their AD carry here. Going back to a more normal draft mentality away from the Garen. The Kai'Sa is actually a solid pick, but also a big denial. With the Tristan and the Jinx taken away, you're kind of denying someone who can jump forwards with the Hecarim. And while Senna won't be doing that, it will be backing up from the backline. Senna Kench would actually be a pretty nice little lock-in here for Mkers.
Definitely, yeah, and I think more supportive style bot side works very cool with someone like Hecarim. You can just speed up and, you know, play around him and kind of juice him up a little bit. It's gonna be the Viktor in. Well, it's Hover actually. I shouldn't say anything because you could lose like the Thresh Kench, right? So Thresh, not Thresh Kench, but you could lose like some good matchups here alongside the Senna in the second ban phase. I'll be totally honest. Like, I don't really care what happens now. I am just want to get in game and see how Garen works. So I did a bit of prep on his Garen jungle, hoping we might see it earlier. And all I can tell you is he goes Ghost. He goes Ghost Smite every game.
Yep,
takes Ghost. He takes Stride.
All right. This game is starting to pop. Anorthosis picking the Z as well. Loving it. Absolutely loving it.
Okay, I really hope Mkers tone it down a little bit with these last two picks because like they've kind of got a bit They're a bit too serious for the tone of this draft so far.
Yeah, Makers are going, oh, we're memeing? I didn't realize.
Yeah,
I thought we were playing seriously.
Exactly. And as a reminder to the viewers, this game doesn't mean anything. Like, as far as standings go, of course, Makers are locked in second, and Anorthosis can't get out of groups. There's a Tom Kinch as well, so no Tom Senna, no Sion Senna, no flexing that Sion top side either. I mean, Viktor into Zed, okay. I mean, you're going to get that Zhonya's early.
Definitely.
What else? You could get like a spicy top laner, sure.
I feel like Anorthosis do need to pick an AP top though. Pretty badly. You've got a Zed, you've got a Kai'Sa. Obviously, Kai'Sa's technically mixed damage, but it leans heavily towards the AD side. So I think you do need to mix your damage profile up a little bit. And I mean, it's not strictly like hard AP, but it does scale off AP. And it also provides a bit of a front line, which is obviously something that they are missing. Because I'm curious to see what Dominant builds as his items. I know you've done a bit of research onto this.
Yeah, he'll do
Thresh
Stride into I believe it's Stride into Sterak's and then like Deadman's.
Okay,
I think
so
that's the build.
Tankier. Okay.
Yeah, so he doesn't go like full assassin or anything like that. He does play much more of like a bruiser focus. Please, something like Neeko is absolutely perfect. Please.
I mean, that is mixing it up. There we go. This game, I hope this game is really back and forth as well and not just a one-sided stomp. Imagine that. We build up all this about the Garen jungle and then it gets warped. There's the Neeko. I assume Neeko top, but they could technically have farming Neeko bot lane with a Senna as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be revealed where this Neeko goes because the next pick is actually the final pick for Makers. How are they going to round out this absolutely chaotic draft phase? And with something maybe a little bit more normal, they're going to take Doxy on the Renekton.
Okay, well, as you mentioned, there's not a lot of magic damage on the side of Anorthosis, so if you want to pick something more magic focused, you got to side it in top side. But against Renekton, I think that's kind of tricky to do. There's no way that he takes. Wait, don't tell me. There's zero chance that this is Garen.
It's not Garen top lane.
Okay,
it's Nasus top lane. Oh my lord!
All right, brilliant. As expected, obviously. How could I even think they take the Garen top when Nasus is open? All right, it's gonna be Nasus into Renekton. Yo, it's the battle of the brothers. Renekton versus Nasus.
We got some lore stuff going here.
Yeah.
Not anywhere else actually. Literally nowhere else is no other lore. But how does the Nasus Renekton lane go? Because I'm not particularly well versed in Renekton versus Nasus personally.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a fair thing to say. I'm assuming they're going to swap that around. Please keep swapping.
Just to give you a quick heads up, there has been a champ select bug. Not champ select. Well, it's a champ select bug, but it's switching champions. The champions are staying the same. We are correctly remaking the champ select right now, so won't be too much longer before we get into the game. But unfortunately, it is definitely going. Well, I say unfortunately. I don't mean unfortunately. Unfortunately, there's a delay, but fortunately, we get the Garen. I get my words out in a way that makes sense. I'll get onto the Garen in a minute. We'll talk about this Garen in a minute. I know you're going to want to.
We'll do so much of it in game.
The Nasus in the top lane.
Yeah, so Nasus and Renekton are kind of like the inverse of each other as far as playstyles go. Renekton's more about like early pressure and kind of falls off as it goes on, whereas Nasus is way more about farming and then being a thing later on. Nasus's big weakness is getting kited. So like he just wants to, he'll build like, see, I can imagine him starting, well, okay. If this is a standard tank Nasus and not like an AP Nasus, right? Which is not out of the realms of possibility with all things considered, then, you know, he might start with like the Glacial Shroud, go for that CDR, that kind of thing, be tanky, stack up his Q, and then as the game goes on, you know, he'll just become more of a raid boss.
Side lane, and 2 pops on the
exactly,
tower.
Side lane. And to be honest, in this team comp, so Nasus gets kited pretty easily. I don't think the Makers have the best kite for him, to be perfectly honest. Got a little bit coming out that bot side with Neeko and Senna. But with Viktor, Hecarim, and Renekton, not a huge thing there. So yeah, he can turn into a raid boss like that. But the pressure is on the Renekton to early game make things happen.
Yeah,
and you know, stop Nasus from scaling.
If I want to use my big brain and not talk like go, oh well, you know, Garen jungle obviously meta, but there is a distinct lack of AP on the side of Anorthosis, and you know, as the game goes later, Renekton. We did see a Gore Drinker Renekton in the last game, but we could be the Stride Breaker. But if it's a Gore Drinker Sterix and then just armor stack, even with, you know, a Nasus who will be able to bop him for a serious amount of health, he has a lot of sustain, and from that particular build, and the ability to actually kill him will be fairly hard. Obviously, there's executes. So there are things to talk about, and it's, you know, the Garen is the big one. I'm really excited to see it. It's being heavily bigged up to us. I mean, Guubi had a big old rant about it before the show even started, back 2 weeks ago now. But what does this Garen do? How do you play the Garen jungle? I've seen a couple of clips. I've seen a couple of times he's pulled it out. Mostly him just going Demacia and popping people.
Yeah, I think that's the primary strategy for Garen jungle, is just to Demacia whenever you can. So that's great. Forehead. Yeah, exactly. Just kill them and trying to avoid dying yourself. And obviously doing it in style too. So Garen jungle, you know, I'll be honest, I don't play a huge amount of Garen jungle. I have played Garen jungle because YouTube's not going to clickbait itself. And from that perspective, his jungle clears are surprisingly good, right? He's not the worst jungler. His passive goes on consistently through the jungle. I'm fairly certain they changed it so that monsters don't actually bop off his passive. So he's got that constant regeneration coming through. And, you know, he's got that mix between single target with just auto attacks and like using a Q as an auto attack reset and spinning around with the judgment, and a surprisingly high amount of damage as well. And he'll be very tanky with the build that he's most likely going to take up this game. I think having Stride Breaker in the game actually makes, I can't believe I'm saying this, but that item makes Garen jungle more viable, because you do get
you heard it here.
You do get a little bit more
on an official Riot broadcast. Foxdrop said Garen jungle viable. You don't have to take any of the other words he said. Just take those words in particular and in context. I'm sure someone can edit that together and twist your words just to say Garen jungle viable.
I mean, I said it. I mean, you don't have to twitch much. I genuinely said it.
To be fair, you also said you didn't think Makers had too much kite ability versus this team, versus the Nasus. So you got the Wither, the Stride Breaker. Yeah. It's actually, you're slow. It's actually very hard to run away from that. So, I mean, realistically, I don't know if we're going to see too much team fighting out from Anorthosis with the fact that they got the Nasus. I'm sure Garen's fine in the team fights, but it's more, you want the Nasus to kind of be pulling people over to his side of the map and then pulling away, and just you want to be kind of playing that yo-yo game. So I kind of expect to see more of a 1-3-1 come out, while Makers, you got the Neeko, you got the Hecarim, you got tools just to team fight. Yeah, I mean, you got Senna as well. You want to be team fighting this game.
Yeah, it feels like much more of a solo queue comp for the side of Anorthosis.
Yeah,
we're not really too considered about win conditions and stuff like that. You just pick your favorite champions. I think mid jungle setups are going to be quite important as well. Garen plus Zed, very, very, very physical damage focus. Viktor most likely going to be rushing into that Seeker's arm guard, so that might play a little bit. Again, beautiful stuff into how many kills you can get early on. But there it is, dominant. He's on that Garen. He's got the Ghost, he's got the Smite. The Conqueror stacks up very fast on Garen because you can spin around, spin to win, and get those stacks ASAP. Oh, and even the red Smizzle coming through as well. He's going to have just these 1v1s. I'm just so excited to see what this guy can do. Like, honestly, we don't even need an observer this game. No offense to observers. Don't worry, you're still getting paid. Just click the button that follows Garen around the map, and I think you'll be sorted. That's all that we're looking forward to this one. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That's all we care about. Does look like a little bit of a cheeky invade from Anorthosis is coming in.
Not too much happening so far. I mean, the level 1 is fairly strong with... so the thing is, like, Garen with his Q can silence. And that's quite nice, because silence means you can't flash away. And you can chase someone down as well, but he doesn't really want to get Q level 1. I mean, to be fair, I'm talking like I'm a Garen jungle expert. I'm not, but I would imagine you still want to... Could you get Q level 1?
I think Dominant might be the only Garen jungle expert on the server, to be honest. So I'm not going to blame you for that one, buddy.
It is going to be the E level 1. Yeah, so I was going to say, it might kind of hinder your first clear, your first camp that you take. Yeah, it's going to... So most likely it's going to do like a full clear. Right. The Garen jungle is going to kill red into Krugs, into chickens. Good AoE from him. Could get level 1 fight bot side though.
Oh, looking for them. That's going to be Guubi very, very low as well. Last Void Stack's going to come in, and that exhaust probably saved Guubi's life actually there. Very, very clutch to pull it out so fast.
And I love that it's going to be...
Oh, Guubi's down. First blood. Picked up by the Thresh.
All right. Okay. So there's some insurance here for the bot side of Anorthosis. The more meta focused of the team gets a nice start. So the Zeds and the Garen jungles and the Nasus can have more time to have fun and get to the points where they can actually do things in the game.
They've got the hook. They've got the flay. Click's gonna dodge out.
The minion! Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh, poor guys.
Well, I mean,
that's what they call it the meta. Most effective tactic available.
Does it? Okay,
That's
well, either way, we're gonna... That feels like something like... Yeah, well, either way. The flash flay, beautiful stuff. And minion MVP, we're gonna see it stacking up.
Did it?
It's costume of some description, yeah. We'll see which one it is. Here we go. Level 2. There it is. There's the minion. Where is it? There it is. It's coming in.
Oh, it was the melee. Was it the melee?
No, I saw.
I don't know what I saw there. I'm not gonna lie. I have no idea what I saw there.
No, I also don't really know.
Either way, he died.
They died at a good start there for the bot side of Anorthosis. Checking in on the other lanes. Nasus struggling a little bit versus Renekton, as to be expected. Garen jungle not clearing quite as fast as Hecarim. Absolute shocker, I know. But not doing too bad for himself. He's one potion and is on full HP. As I mentioned, so I'm pretty sure his passive just constantly ticks when he's in the jungle. I'm fairly certain that's true. I did not make this Garen jungle video too recently, but I think that's the case. So he is pretty healthy.
Jojo, you're in trouble. He has the flash. Everything's been thrown at him as he tries to get the shadow out, but he's buying himself a bit of time. Pings back in and bops, and that is why you're able to find the kill.
What was that interaction with the Hecarim charge right there? He just got
really
slung into completely random direction. But that is going to be the kill. Dominant now, sniffing around, has been spotted on that ward. Shouldn't be able to get that one. Just going to recall. Oh, that's a nice looking skin that is.
I was trying to figure out what skin that was.
It's got to be a chroma, right?
It's a chroma, yeah. Oh, there's the hook. They've got the flay. Dominant's coming for the silence. You can't flash. Sniped away. As the Ignite is able to get the kill as well. Guubi just has to sit back and watch as his support dies.
There is no counterplay to the Garen jungle. That's silence. Oh my goodness, it's so broken. You can't do anything there. Kai'Sa's going to try and get a bit of cheeky counter jungling. WouLou's pretty happy. Is he going to try and last hit? Oh, okay. I thought Nasus was going to try and get the stacks.
Oh, no.
Oh, Guubi.
You can only stun in one direction, and you can't even get that if you're silenced. Trying to buy some space, as that is LOCKIE actually going down underneath the tower. He's going to get picked up as Doxy will answer out with a kill. And now Jojo coming in for a bit of revenge. Just going to get some damage off onto Click. This is a Conqueror Zed, not to the Electrocute Zed.
But top side of the map, WouLou on that Nasus gets a bit of a free lane, so he's going to be very happy about that one. Get some time to stack it all up. That's what Nasus wants to do. We're going to get a replay of this dive right here. So it's really well executed where Dominant on this Garen gets the silence, gets the spin, and then he's able to take the lantern to drop tower aggro. Really nicely executed right there. Pretty much as perfect as you can do, but obviously Mkers with that TP in response. Going to trade 1 for 1.
And Anorthosis with the Garen jungle going to pick up the first dragon of this game. Dominant obviously down in farm, but you do expect that.
Just a little bit. He's down in farm, but up in swagger. And I think that's really what matters at the end of the day. Is he oh my god, Lord, please. I mean, that would have been great. I don't know about you, but I would have.
Oh god, that would have been so tragic. Finally gets it, dies the dragon.
He hasn't recalled yet either, by the way. He's generally just been staying out here. 6 minutes into the game. That Garen passive doing work. He might die to the Gromp. Nope, he's smiting the Gromp. Never mind, he'll survive. Getting a bit hairy for the Garen in the jungle right now, though. He's got to be careful.
No, WouLou just farming away. I'm curious to see the stacks as well on the Nasus. Will be something we'll want to track over this game. And it's been a while since I cast the Nasus, if I'm going to be honest with you. So I can't remember exactly what's like a good number to be at certain times.
I feel like if you can double the minute total, then you're okay. But it also depends on your itemization, because when you start on Nasus, you have a very high cooldown on your Q and you don't have a lot of CDR. But once you build some CDR, then you know, you can start getting stacks a lot faster, and you get more damage to like last hit things as well.
It's 87 at the moment, and it is actually Emax Nasus as well, so kind of playing more for the lane shove.
Right, Emax Nasus is what enables Nasus to function in difficult lanes, because it does give you some more wave clear, and also it's actually a bit easier to trade with people as well. QMax doesn't really do a huge amount by itself. It helps a little bit, but not a huge thing. This is going to be level 6 on Taxa though, level 5 dominant.
Dominant. He's caught out. He does have a bit of tenacity thanks to being a Garen as he tries to block the blast cone, able to get a bit of space as JoJo's trying to make his way closer. Dominant's going to go down. Here is the death mark by JoJo, getting a little bit extra damage in, but the exhaust is huge. The pop won't be enough, and Doxy takes him down.
So close right there for Anorthosis. Garen almost survives, Taxa almost dies, but it is going to be the Italian squad taking the advantage right here. Level 6 to level 5. It makes a huge difference when it is the difference between having your ulti and not having it. Mkers here getting kind of aggro in bot side, not going to be able to find the route. And here it is, just going to face check into the fog wall. This isn't a friendly place to be. Yeah, you just like with the fact that Nasus is playing under his tower as well makes this like really hard, because you're not going to have any help collapsing in from your top side. Another reason why Nasus isn't particularly popular in the meta.
Actually life-saving for Taxa, that exhaust.
Quite literally, yeah, quite literally. He gets it off as the pop's going through as well. So, yeah, really, really important stuff there.
As Taxa will pick up the Rift Herald for his team. And Anorthosis were able to pick up that early Dragon at least, so Dragon stacking they don't have to worry about. As you know, we've had a bit of fun, but if we actually have a look at where the gold is right now and where the game is, a very slight lead, but I'm not even getting the opportunity to speak. FLICKR is going incredibly low as an exhaust has been popped, but I don't think that's enough to save FLICKR. LOCKIE able to find the kills. He does throw himself out the ulti and just slides in. Guubi has to flash away. Gets himself the seed off just to lock down one of them.
Ooh, okay, I think this might be the insurance here for Anorthosis though. It's not going too well for the rest of the squad, the off-meta picks, but at least their meta bot lane is making it happen. So you can see the gold difference is pretty significant across the solo lane specifically. Like, it's really close in gold overall, but the bot lane for Anorthosis is popping off, and the mid and top lane, the solo lanes for Mkers, is where it's happening for that squad. No real surprise that the slightly off-meta picks are the ones not doing so well for the respective squads.
I'm curious to see what the build's going to be from JoJo here. Doxy actually going to quickly find WouLou, though. WouLou not really in a position to challenge him at the moment as of the Nasus versus Renekton matchup. But I'm going back to JoJo. I'm interested to see what the build is going to be, whether or not it's going to be that Duskblade full lethality, or what we do see sometimes with Conqueror, and to be fair, a lot of Zeds do seem to take as well, is that Eclipse. It does give you a bit more lane sustain and really strong trading capabilities thanks to the shield you get from the Eclipse. At the moment, not really revealing much, gone for a serrated and a longsword, so pretty hard to say exactly what he's going to be taking. I feel like Eclipse is good here, though. I feel like that's the probably better one.
Yeah, I think Eclipse when you have Conqueror is nice because you survive a bit longer with the Eclipse, obviously being able to give you that shield and some sustain, and with that, you know, gives you more time to stack up Conqueror. I do say as well, like you didn't mention Prowler's Claw, and I think that's something which deserves some mention. But you know what? We're gonna fight topside. We're losing trouble.
This doggy might be in trouble. The Dominus has been popped, and the big boy Nasus, I can't remember the name of the ult, but the Pop Blossom in the bot lane is going to lock up free, and that is going to be JoJo finding himself a kill, but everybody's getting locked under the tower. It's a double kill for the Zed. How did he live?
It's happening all across the map right now. Mkers are abusing the top side, and Anorthosis are abusing the bot side. Mate, this game is exactly how I was expecting it to go, to be perfectly honest. And I'm very happy to witness what's happening right here. It is going to be this mid tower going down though with the use of that Rift Herald. Dominant is picked up his components going into the Stride Breaker, rushing the. I could be. Is that Stride Breaker? I actually don't know if can. Wait, I could be chatting a lot of rubbish here.
Half is Stride Breaker, yeah.
Yeah, but the Kindle Gem might be something. You know what? We'll ignore that. We'll wait for that to happen. As well. Okay. I'm chatting rubbish. Replay. We're gonna get the dive here for the bot side. 4v2 is not really a fair fight, is it? And a really nice juggling of the aggro. kubYD, of course, completely calculated. No problem right there to survive. It is the Prowler's Claw coming through from JoJo instead. I think as an assassin item, Prowler's has kind of risen in popularity. It's really, really good. Gives you it's the most damage you can get, because not just because of the active, but also because of the mythic passive it gives you. Whenever you buy legendary items, you get more lethality. It's happening
Flick's in trouble.
again.
There's the Prowler's Claw forward. It's a Tangle Bob. We'll just knock onto a couple of here. Comes kubYD. He's got himself the flank, and Guubi, you're getting hooked, my friend. And JoJo looking for the kill. The Pop Blossom, it's big, but it's not really ultimately big enough. And the Demacian Justice not even going to get fired off by Dominant as JoJo. Suddenly this Zed is starting to snowball.
Yeah, Lockie's just soloing Dragon this whole time. Didn't want to be part of that party. Yeah, I think we can tell who on the team of Anorthosis is taking this game seriously. Focusing on the objectives, picking the Kai'Sa. It's alright, as a team, they will succeed.
They don't have to worry about this mid lane turret being heavily sieged onto. Kai'Sa finds kubYD. Flay will stop him in his tracks though. Doxy's also in the area.
Too much going on right here. Looks like, yeah, Doxy's going to run down quite as you mentioned. That's 5 people, excuse me, on the bot side for Makers. But luckily for Anorthosis, or I should say, well read by Anorthosis, they're going to evacuate the area of the map, send everyone back to base, and they're gonna posture around the other lanes instead. We have 30 seconds left on the plates.
That's a Nasus. He'll be able to get these, at least 2, maybe more.
Yeah,
actually.
he'll get 2.
Siphoning strikes do a lot.
Yeah, I don't think he has. You know what? Maybe. I would be surprised, but maybe, maybe.
Oh, that wasn't real Guubi. That was a fake one. Even I'm getting baited by the Neeko.
I mean, to be fair though, Guubi has just been getting blasted all game, as has WouLou. It's happening again.
He's just farming for stacks. He's okay to give his life here. He's going down. And the bot lane is also action breaking off as well, as they are looking for a kill onto Guubi. You had to burn the hill, and WouLou actually buying a lot of time. Stacking up that grasp. Get a couple extra ticks as he will finally lose his life. 3 members pulled though, and LOCKIE going to take this tower. Meanwhile, what's going on? The rail has been fired. Oh, he's going to burn. No, he's not.
My goodness. I just saw on the mini-map, like, I was looking, okay, so where are Anorthosis? What are they doing while Makers has sent everyone top side? They're getting something on the other side of the map, right? And then I look at JoJo diving in between. All mid-towers are alive, by the way, and he's diving the inhibitor mid-tower trying to kill someone. Shocker, it didn't actually work. But hey, it's the thought that counts, and I appreciate that thought a lot.
I mean, that play actually started in between tier 1 and tier 2 bot lane, and then ended out in between tier 2 and tier 3 mid lane. That's how deep that dive was by JoJo.
Yo.
Looks going to go a little bit wide. They are looking for LOCKIE, but a great play back. Will disengage him for the moment as the box has been thrown out. Tangle Barb lands onto kubYD and clicks, trying to buy some space. Doxy's coming onto the flank, and he's popped the Dominus as the charge comes out. LOCKIE gets a lantern out of there as Dominant gets the Demacian Justice and the shutdown. Making easy work of that pony as LOCKIE will be taken out as Zwyroo finds himself into a killing spree. JoJo Prowler's claws into Click's face and uses the ulti, able to ping out to safety as Click goes pop, and JoJo gets the kill.
Guubi's not had enough though. It's happening everywhere. And of course, the Nasus just doing his thing. Just farming his stacks up with that siphoning strike. He's having a grand old time right here. What I love about this play, by the way, is that they give the red buff to Dominant, even though he already had one. Of course, you've got to give red buff to Garen jungle. That is of the utmost importance. Doxy with the flank, excuse me, makes this play kind of hairy, but I mean, look at that. He spins, he wins. He's got that movement speed from the Hearthbound axe as well. He's out of there. Here comes JoJo. But the mop up clicks. Prowler's Claw also did so much damage there that the ulti barely wasn't even needed. Like legit, just popped the Senna right there. No real counterplay. And we didn't get to see it, but obviously Makers were able to pick up some kills on the backside. They killed Kai'Sa and Thresh as well.
Interesting to see what the next item's going to be from JoJo. Deep down, I want a Collector. Collector Z is so satisfying when you get the pop, and then it's just that little bit for the Collector to get it as well. And it's like, you don't live these.
It's always
probably
nice.
Not going to be that. I assume it might be something like an Edge of Night or some other kind of lethality item. That'd be a smart decision.
I think that's a fair guess. But I will say, what's nice about having Collector on champions that don't really want Collector is it gives you crit. Ooh, dominant though.
Yeah, he's gonna have to use
out.
that stride breaker to get out. He did lose the camp though, I believe.
Yo, but those Garen mechanics, mate. He's not messing about. You see that one? It was like insta like QW stride breaker, just easy peasy lemon squeeze. I'm not gonna mess around with that one. You thought you could catch. You thought you could catch Garen. You thought Garen was a relatively low mobility character. No, not in the hands of the dominant. Obviously, the Garen jungle king.
Champion's got tenacity as well. It's one of those things where when we had the Garen Yuumi, people kind of underestimated how long CC lasted on him. Although
that's very true.
And obviously, they kind of underestimated this Rift out there, just leaving it alone as Jojo's onto that flank. He's looking for Guubi, gets a lot of damage off, but won't be able to find it as Kai'Sa looks to jump in. Dominant just slides in onto the backline. Got that justice to fire off into Guubi, but he's not going to be able to find his opening. WouLou takes out Guubi in the meantime as Jojo takes down FLICKR, and Anorthosis are actually winning this fight. A great hook into the spade. Dominant gets the hill for the triumph and able to survive everything. And it is just a fight on all fronts. The shutdown for LOCKIE, and only the pony stands. Woo!
So close to a clean ace from Anorthosis. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not just saying this because it's Garen jungle, but that was all Garen jungle. He absolutely obliterated Guubi right there. He baited Doxy in as well. My goodness, that was a great team fight. And 3 dragons now for Anorthosis. 1 away from that Infernal Soul. And that's going to be really big for people like Zed. Like Garen and
they find each other. WouLou's gonna get out from here. He did steal away the big wolf. Remember, jungle camps actually do give a lot more stacks. There's back into the action, back into the replay.
What's dominant here? What's dominant? So he almost one-shots Guubi, stride breaker into Q, into spin, and then it's the Renekton that fancies his chances against Garen. But the thing is, he silences him and just bops him. Legit. The Master Injustice does like 40% of people's health as an execute. Absolutely insane. And there it is. What did I say? It's just a Garen diff, honestly.
Do you remember when the villain existed?
Yeah, when you do like true damage with your ult.
That looked like an old Garen when he had the villain mechanic. That's just no villain mechanic.
And of course, the bounties now coming through from the Zed and the Garen. Because these are the big boys from the side of Anorthosis. I quite like what Jojo decided to do though. We were just thinking about hypothesizing what item he'd go as his second item. It's not actually going to be lethality item. He's going for the full armor pen, which I think is really smart because you are playing versus like Zhonya's on the side of Mkers. There's going to be Zhonya's coming through from Neeko, already one through from Viktor. You've got that front line in Hecarim and in Doxy as well. And I think again, you know what, WouLou's just going to get bullied as he's been all game.
Even with the Fury of the Sands, he just can't move. The CC is just so oppressive. Poor guy. He literally just stood still for like
he just can't play League of Legends.
3k health. It's actually slow.
But he's chilling, man. He's playing Nasus. He's chilling. He's just been having fun, taking those stacks, playing PvE. Like, if you don't like human beings, and let's be honest, who does? Then Nasus is the champion for you. You don't have to interact with humans at all.
And
just
he's
run
not
around
a human either, so that's
true. He is way more of a canine-esque style champion. You know what? I'm not sure if this is true, but you know what? I'm not even gonna say it. Nasus' lore though. I think he may have been a person at one point. Or I'm probably mixing up my Shirimans here.
He could have been. No, I think he was always like a god or a guardian or something. Because Azir was once a person.
Right, Azir and Xerath were both people. I know that much.
God,
Azir ascended into the pigeon form, and Xerath stole an ascension and then became this big, magic man.
Oh, he's just part of the Blue Man group.
There he is.
Doxy's going to pop over the wall, though. This
him.
is a bit dangerous for Doxy, because this time, he's not bullying his little brother. WouLou has got back up, and justice will be served as Dominant picks up the kill.
Some revenge, finally, for WouLou. And it's Doxy, the other brother, who's going to get bullied this time around. I bet that feels good. Now, when your older brother's always been picking on you, and then finally you can call mum, and she comes in and saves the day. Lets you take your turn on the N64. Where you can play...
That's a weird family dynamic when mum and dad are Fresh and Zed.
Fresh and Zed. Well, There's a joke in there about Zed, which Thresh I'm absolutely not going to make. But either way, moving on rapidly from that one, Jake. The downside of this team comp here for Mkers, like, you don't have consistent damage to threaten Baron when everyone on Anorthosis plays bot side.
Yep.
So no real threat there for Anorthosis to send everyone down and kill the Renekton. Not too much being lost. It's actually going to be the first the first mid tower here for the Greeks, and of course Nasus playing PvE once more, knocking down those towers. This
is one of these things where, you know, when was the last time Mkers played into a Garen jungle? Probably never, or like very rarely. So it's one of those things you're not prepared for. A Zed, a Nasus, a Garen. There's Kai'Sa. He's going to take himself a little bit of damage. The Lantern comes out and Jojo actually instantly pops the death mark. It's a lot of damage off onto him as WouLou's coming in. Doing a lot of damage with these siphoning strikes. He's got the Fury of the Sands burning, and Doxy going low. The Railgun gets fired up, and Jojo just gets the Prowler's Claw off and gets himself the kill. The Root lands onto a couple as Dominant's coming in. He's going to get slowed down by the Everfrost, but that is a lot of tenacity, remember, as Taxi continues to take poke. WouLou's out of mana, and now he's getting fried. This is why he finds himself a kill.
WouLou finally, though, is starting to get strong enough to actually bite back in these fights. Mkers trying to collapse on top of him, but he has the strength to turn it around. Can't wait until he gets his first Sheen item, or just the Sheen itself, and can do a bit more damage.
Guubi does have ultimate, so it's quite hard just to jump in onto his Zwyroo.
Okay, Doxy's up in 4, has
the fact
TP.
That the Neeko eyes there. Although Deathmark is now back up for Jojo. So if he finds the opportunity,
there it is. Nasus has TP, but I don't. This is Soul, right? This is Soul for Anorthosis. I might want to put everything into this one. You know what? I think they're going to do it. Yep, there he comes. 5v5 at Dragon. Watch the Garen. Watch the Garen spins.
Dominant's got a level lead, so he actually is doing more of his smite. As Guubi spotted out by LOCKIE, is WouLou just going to eat a little bit of this damage. Dominant waiting back. Doesn't have the Ghost. Doesn't obviously have Flash to get closer as a hook comes out and Dominant's coming in. That's going to be the Dragon secured by Jojek, and the fight is on. Pop Blossom lands onto a couple of members, but Jojek untouched for the moment as it's one kill already picked up for Anorthosis. And it is now turning all in their favor. Mkers losing members left, right, and center as Dominant going to force Click to flash away. Dominant jumps in as the charge comes out, and Jojek just slides back out the Prowler score. It's a double kill picked up for WouLou, and the Damartian Justice slides in. The Prowler's Claw, sorry, the Stride Breaker, as Dominant's going to survive it all. The shutdown finally picked up, but it's an ace for Anorthosis.
Everyone on the side of Mkers going down, and importantly for Anorthosis, Infernal Soul secured by Jojo. 35 health that Dragon was on. Look at that. You can see already the fiery flames coming through from Kai'Sa and the minions. That's going to mean a lot to people like Zed as well. My goodness, like these team fights are just crazy. I thought maybe WouLou had maybe overforced this one a little bit, but either way, they're able to win the fight. And now this game's looking kind of hairy for Mkers. It's going to be pretty tough. We're going to take a look at the team fight once more. WouLou just walks forward here in his big dog form, and it's just like, yeah, okay. He's just so tanky. 35 health, Dominant spinning, Dominant winning. Look at that. It's just like, maybe I'm biased by just focusing on the Garen. He didn't do a massive amount this fight, I will be honest. But it's a lot of fun to track what Garen jungle can do in these fights. That was Infernal Soul Q coming through as well. Oh my goodness. It's just so much damage, man.
There's the pop as well.
Yeah,
Dominant enraged, Beyblade engaged. They find themselves the ace.
He's absolutely Beyblade going right now. So it is Stridebreaker into Sterak's into the Deadman's. Deadman's obviously quite a nice item on Garen because Deadman's gives you move speed, and Garen likes that. He lacks mobility over West Champion, so Stridebreaker helps him out a lot. Having those Berserker Greaves is, you might think, is a bit weird for Garen, but if you're not a Garen player, which is kind of fair, I imagine they're few and far between.
Doxy pops the R. Jojo looking for him, not really going to find anything else as Doxy gets popped. Ignite used and ultimate used, although Jojo actually, his Deathmark's actually on a fairly short cooldown. He's almost got a quarter of it back. So
yeah, he doesn't mind that. He doesn't mind that at all. Plus having that early armor pen means that actually like Hecarim and Renekton are still pretty good targets for both Zed and the Kai'Sa.
Oh my lord, what?
Dude, that's oh my goodness. Yeah, that's just so much damage.
I had to check if he had an AP item after that.
Yeah.
That was just that was normal.
No AP item.
Taxa finds Dominant, and Dominant. I don't know if Taxa wants this. They are going to get the lockdown, but he pops the W. Bit more tenacity, able to break out and walk away. Meanwhile, WouLou still farming away. Can we get a quick Nasus stacks check? Oh no, we're going to look at a replay.
Oh, oh my! What? We missed this? Where did that happen? Holy crap! My goodness.
There's been so much action. We genuinely just missed a lot of this. I forget they have Infernal Soul. Back to Nasus, 354 stacks, so not amazing, but he also has been picked on pretty hard this game.
Yeah, that's on the low side of things, I would say, all in all. He's going for Riley's, by the way, as his third item, as you would expect, obviously. You know what? I don't even know if that's Riley's, but I don't know. No, I think it's the Abyssal Mask. The Demonic Shroud. Yeah. Demonic
Embrace.
Shroud. I think that's what it's going to be. It actually makes a lot of sense, to be fair, on Nasus. I think that's going to be a pretty solid pickup. And I'm just going to...
Yeah, I guess you get the burn from the Demonic Embrace, right?
Right,
So...
you get the burn and you get the tank stats. Like, it's actually pretty cool.
And I did say they were lacking AP, so there you go. Taxa is actually jumping in, looking for the opportunity, but a great hook comes in. The railgun's been fired, and Taxa gonna eat himself, Loki, as he gets taken out. It's a 1-for-1 so far, as WouLou does lose his life. Guubi also getting half health here for the moment, but someone has to go deal with a Zed, who's able to take out the tier 2 in the mid lane. The LOCKIE will eat a couple of laser beams and lose a lot of his health bar, but Jojo now just starting up on this mid lane turret. Someone's going to have to deal with the supers eventually, although they are a bit of a ways away.
Anorthosis is able to push in multiple lanes here. There's not much answer because this top side's already down. Like, that's already pushing for them. They basically got 3 pushing lanes at this point. They got the Baron. They're able to mix it up as well. Mkers in a really sad spot. It's very hard for them to defend this push.
Good news is mid inhibitor will survive for the moment. Although Jojo waiting for people to back off. It looks like the resets are coming in for Anorthosis. Taxa seeing if he can find something onto LOCKIE. And Jojo's just going to go back to the inhibitor. Been a real nuisance.
1 minute now until the Elder Dragon's up. Elder Dragon plus Infernal Soul. Oof. That's going to be kind of painful. Question is, though, for Mkers, is there anything you can do about it? I'm not fully convinced that there is, to be perfectly honest with you. Because I think there's just such dominance coming through from the side of Anorthosis. And it's all across the board as well. There's a lot of people who are strong for Anorthosis. You know, you got mid, jungle, and AD carry, all pretty big. And even just, I mean, to be fair, like, the Kai'Sa by itself at this point is absolutely ginormous. Got that Guardian Angel as well, so it's going to be even harder to take her down. We'll see what Mkers decide to do about this Elder, because it is spawning in 20 seconds now.
Collector finished up for Jojo now.
Yo.
There
Yes.
it is.
Oh my goodness, it is. It is collect. Okay, beautiful. I'm so glad you got your wish in that front.
40% crit.
Something I was gonna. Okay, you know what? I can't talk. WouLou, mate.
I don't know if Taxa wins this on his own though. WouLou just slows him down and walks out. Oh my
Definitely
lord!
That wither is just.
With his inability,
so long
Elder,
if you don't have tenacity.
Dominant's not inside the pit, able to dodge away as he looking for the assassination off onto the mid laner, able to dodge away on the Tangle Barbs and gets the Lantern to safety. Now WouLou has been left alone. Demonic Embrace is going to cook as they find themselves a hook. The box has been thrown down. Jojo is just backdooring in the meanwhile. The Pop Blossom's going to land as a WouLou as Dominant silences Guubi, and it's a double kill for WouLou.
I think that
They
might
are
be
getting
it
the
as
reset
well.
off as Jojo is looking for Zwyroo, has himself the ulti. Trying to dodge away on some of these abilities for the moment as the laser beam is going to get used, and Jojo actually deciding doesn't want anything to do with this, just wants to push in the wave. And Anorthosis,
Doxy, by the way. Doxy's dead. Jojo 1v1 dim, Zed versus Renekton. Obviously very favored, very Zed favored as a matchup. But 14 kills to 28. At the end of the day, it's the big boys. Oh, God.
they almost got him, but they're going to find the railgun. There's the gift of the Elder to secure the kill, thanks to the burn from that Demonic Embrace. And WouLou probably had a bit of a rougher game compared to some of the people on his team, but ultimately it is going to come out in Anorthosis' favor. The death mark gets used, and that is going to be an unstoppable kill for Jojo. He's able to ping back off the fountain and expose Nexus, and Anorthosis just padding their stats as they draw an end here to their time at the European Masters. They go out in style.
That was a really fun game to watch for Anorthosis. Like from draft, the way they played the game as well. I'm really glad that we got to see a game like that actually coming out of them. Unfortunately for them, they're not going to be able to progress out of groups. That is their last game of the tourney. But it was a lot of fun watching them, and even from week one, they went 1-2, right? Like it was a I definitely think they can be proud of how they performed in E-Masters. Not an easy group for them to perform in either. And we got to see Garen jungle, so everyone's happy.
I mean, we got to saw Zed, we got to saw Nasus, we got to saw Garen. There was a Neeko bot lane. It was a 0-7 or 0-8 Neeko, so it wasn't particularly the best Neeko, but we got to see it. I'm just happy we got to see the games get shaken up, and there's still another game here in Group A. And again, standings are set. There's not really too much more we can do about that, but hopefully Kick versus Big will deliver, and hopefully we have a really, really explosive game just like that. But for now, it's time for a break. We'll see you after this.